Hello to all my people, and if you're watching live, checking us out on YouTube, or listening on your favorite podcast provider, you are most definitely my people. Welcome to another episode of Botched Spots and Share Shots. I am your host, a chef by trade and a mark by choice. I am the Will Gray, and joining us tonight in a very abbreviated but to the point episode of Botched Spots and Share Shots, he is the host of your top 5 Apple ranked podcasts, perched on the top rope. It's our boy Lee Walker. Lee, how are you, bud?
I'm doing great. Looking on professional. I'm trying to figure out how to get my microphone to work well on here. It's not going too well though.
I'm gonna change the name of the episode to it's gonna be something about the malfunctions, because we're also adjusting audio settings here. We finally decided to run 2 mics instead of 1. So what better way to figure out how to fuck your shit up than to do it live on air?
And I got a new computer on top of it. So we're
And
all
out,
just
Bo's working a completely new rig for his setup. I'm trying to figure out how to run 2 mics in one room. Lee, is gracious enough. He was an hour and a half behind us. We had 2 different times planned for this show to happen. So it's, we're flying by the seat of our pants here, but we love it. We love it. Everybody's here. Jax, Al, Nicole, Dad Hat, we love you. Cam, what's up, brother? We do sound fantastic. It's going to be great. Directly beside Lee is my co-host for Nerdy News at 420. He is the host of Boyfriend Time and the Wolfpack Podcast. He is the co-host of NXT on Tap. He is everybody's favorite Ginger Ninja, Jax. Jax, how are you doing?
My feet feel amazing right now.
You got all kinds of new kicks. You got 2 fresh pairs of shoes.
Yes, thank you.
How your feet feel, bud?
My feet feel great. I'm wearing my classic Reeboks in black that she found because all I thought they had was white. And yeah, they feel pretty good on my feet. I feel like my toes are having sex with each other.
I love that.
That's how I feel.
Will can actually pull a clip from my match of the week. AJ, drop it in the chat for me. Let me remember what it was. I'm sorry. I know it's in the Instagram chat. And perched upon her iron throne in the boss bitch's corner, she is the Beyonce to my hope at the bottom of my Clyde. She's the brains behind Rivet City Radio. It's a boss bitch, Al. Al, how are you?
I'm good. I'm here battling another sinus situation. So please excuse my terrible voice and coughing. But other than that, I'm good.
Nice. Well, we're here. We're accounted for. Like I said, before we get going, we're going to appease the algorithmic gods. If you're listening on youtube.com/Rivet City Radio, it is free to like and subscribe and to do all the things. Same for twitch.tv/Rivet City Radio. I need to update this. We are not currently at 93, but we are still in your top 100 ranked Apple podcasts. So make sure if you listen to us on Apple or Spotify, leave a 5-star review. But ladies, gentlemen, just straight to the rip. Let's just get it, rip the Band-Aid off. What has you guys pissed off for greatness this week in pro wrestling? Something has to have y'all worked up. Good, bad, and different. I don't care who goes first. All of y'all have done this before. Y'all know the routine.
Them fucking belts.
Which ones? The new ones? The Friday night belts?
The SmackDown. Listen, I have a love-hate relationship with them. I like the fact that they're very detailed and designed. I don't like the fact that they went to 5 plates for these belts. And yes, the 2 plates, there's 4 side plates on these belts, ladies and gentlemen. I don't, and the black is a little too much for me. If they would have done the globe either in blue or the banners in blue, just like give that SmackDown sprinkle, those belts would have been untouchable. It's the black and the fact that you added 2 extra side plates to these belts that kind of threw me off.
I like the Friday belts.
I think that they look like what Katie and I call them the poopy diaper belts.
Poopy diaper belts.
Because the bottom looks like a butt.
Like a poopy diaper. I
like
see
a poopy diaper, like a second diaper. Leaf, like, what?
I don't.
I like Friday ones. Fridays for Grayson Waller and Theory kind of reminded me of when they first did the split with Raw and SmackDown, because both
Yeah.
belts looked the same. The only difference was in the middle was the red, or in the middle was the blue. For the championship color. And it reminds me of that. It's just there's not enough color to the belt itself.
Yeah.
Like, you got a lot of gold in there, and there's a lot of detail, which a lot of that detail is hidden because realistically, just too much gold in it. But
It looks like the Continental belt.
Yeah, it reminds me of the of 20 years ago WWE. Not bad, I thought.
I like the Attitude Era tag titles, and that's what this reminds me of, like the Dudley's custom belts. Which the funny thing is, I prefer the World Heavyweight title, Damian Priest's belt, to Cody's Universal title, the gold one. But I prefer Friday's tag titles for SmackDown than I do the circular ones they released on Monday Night Raw. So I'm kind of the opposite of you, Bo. I like SmackDown's new tag belts better than I do Raw's tag belts.
Okay.
I think that SmackDown's, they look prestigious, and when I see it, it reminds me. What's up, Katie? Thanks for stopping by. It reminds me of the old school NWA belts.
Yeah.
How they were really ornate without needing a whole lot of like logos and stuff. And that's what I liked about the SmackDown belts. So I didn't dislike either set of the new belts, but I do like Friday more. Lee, Al, either of you got anything for me?
Okay, so what was it? The Oklahoma State Athletic Commission for Tony Nyla Rose, and because put on her paperwork that stated that she's a female, right? So the Oklahoma Athletic State Commission has like an issue with that. Do we not have intergender wrestling already? What's the issue? Do we not watch the men and women in TNA wrestle each other, right? Do we not see that happen? Have we not seen Baron Corbin lay out Becky Lynch? Have we not seen any of that stuff? So what is the problem? Who cares? All because she marked down that she is a she and not a he, because that's what she believes. And the Oklahoma Athletic State Commission, that's right, you heard me right, Oklahoma State Athletic Commission can't get their shit together. So that's what's got me going this week. What do you care? You already have men and women wrestle each other already. What do you care? This is straight up a political thing. It's political bullshit.
The Oklahoma, the sporting commission and all of that, they said their hang up was in combat sports, there was no intergender combat sports allowed in the state of Oklahoma, meaning a man and a woman couldn't have a boxing match. And when they started to do their backtrack, because everybody in the IWC, there were two things that brought the IWC together this week. One was Def Rebel, and the other one was the Oklahoma, the board for the athletic commission, rather. And both of them had to do some major backtracking because the Oklahoma was like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to readjust it for pro wrestling, all of that nonsense. And we were like, still, you didn't do it quick enough, because the state of Oklahoma apparently lives in the year 1862. What's up, Matt?
What's up,
How are you? Good. I'm glad you're here. Al, you got one for me?
So Mania was what? 2 weeks ago? Was it 2 weeks, or is it three weeks now? Like, why are more TikTokers bitching about Samantha Irving? Like, let's move on. Mania was 2 weeks ago. You're just trying to get clout because that one dude got shit all over on TikTok and his videos blew up because people shit on him. So now you're gonna shit on her too? Like, go the fuck on. Like, she's an angel. She's the best fucking ring announcer. Like, go on somewhere with your neckbeard ass.
Did you see where Michael Buffer came out and was like, Samantha's maybe the best ring announcer right now going without question? And I feel like if Michael Buffer gives you the rub, who is without a doubt the only person not named Howard Finkel, the best ring announcer to ever do it, probably. And for him to give Samantha Irvin the rub and be like, no, she's pretty much the shit, like that says everything it needs to. Because I'm not a ring announcer. I moonlight as one. I've done it before, but it's not something I do. And like, she's pretty much spot on as to what you need to do. She's the MC for the night. She sets the tone. She sets the event. She sets the setting for everything. So she's doing her job and she's exceeding at it. I don't see where the fucking issue is. Me and Twin out here fine dining and whatnot. Okay, fine dining. I like food. Mine, again, for like 3 weeks in a row, has nothing to do with wrestling. We watched Fallout this week, and when I was going through the show and I was watching it, I got really excited for season 2 because it was announced. And then I found out the wrestling fandom, there's those little toxic groups in every group. The Fallout community, the most toxic people in the Fallout community are the New Vegas fans. And they make the wrestling fans look like, everybody is a saint in the wrestling sphere compared to the Fallout New Vegas fans. Like, these people are like, it was ridiculously toxic. Only 2 episodes in. So be less toxic. Don't be garbage. Bye,
Good.
Lee. Oh, there he is.
So you're a New Vegas like diehard. So are you saying you're toxic?
I'm not the kind of New Vegas fan that says that New Vegas is the only Fallout game that matters, though. Those guys are like, New Vegas was the perfect story. It was the perfect RPG and all of that. And it's my favorite Fallout game. But I also think that Fallout 4 is dangerously close to being that, being that good. It could be, especially with the next gen update coming out, like it could be the thing. And Jax did put a whole ass studio together. It's awesome. I watched the first episode last night after the wedding. It was a good episode. Ella Purnell is fantastic. Like, see lots of Fallout love. Do you guys have a match of the week, or does anybody have anything to say about Fallout?
It's been weird. I got sick earlier this week, so I haven't been able to really watch wrestling.
Yeah. Okay. Match of the week. Anybody got anything they want to throw into the mix?
I will throw this in there. This might not be a match of the week, but I got to throw what AJ said. Broken Matt Hardy being back. We're not talking about the fact Santana's back.
Sammy Callahan's back.
Callahan's back.
Yeah.
I know we all worried when Scott left. My worries are slowly going away.
Yeah. You think that they're doing enough without it to where it's like, okay.
I think there was enough people that believed in Scott's vision to keep it going when he left.
And there's the rumors that Sammy might be taking over booking.
I mean, he already does it with Revolver, and he throws fucking banger shows.
Yeah. Lee, do you have a match of the week, moment of the week?
I haven't really watched since I was at Mania. If that tells you anything.
You don't really watch a weekly basis on a lot. You're a lot like me, where like
and anymore. I work my 8 hours a day, and I come home and it's literally distribution for the podcast, like from 4 o'clock till 11. Sucks.
I can attest for that because I write through the week part-time, and then I work for the podcast full-time. And I say work for the podcast full-time because I will spend 6 or 7 hours, 8 hours, sometimes a day just sitting down, scheduling stuff, editing videos, posting on socials. And it's just a constant grind every day. And people don't realize what it did, specifically podcasting, because if you want to appease those algorithmic gods on Apple and Spotify and shit, your stuff has to go out the exact same days of the week, like every week habitually. And if you throw off by 24 hours, then like it can throw everything off. It could take you 2 weeks to recover from, a 24-hour layover. If I forget to post the episode I post it on Tuesdays, and if I post it on a Wednesday, it could take me 2 weeks to recover from that. That's how like YouTube is painful as shit, but not nearly as bad as Spotify and Apple. That's for fucking sure. As Lee's like, I don't know. I have no problems. I get like 1 million downloads a week because I'm the coolest man on the planet.
YouTube's my biggest issue. I suck at YouTube.
YouTube's like, I love YouTube because it's mostly like a vault where I can just dump all of our content and I know it's just sitting there for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we're slow grind on YouTube. We're getting there. Once we get to the 500 subscribers mark, we're pretty much ready to start monetizing on YouTube. It's just getting to those 500 fucking subscribers, which is a good thing right now. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you're not subscribed on YouTube, go subscribe on fucking YouTube.
Well, did they change it? Because last I knew it was you got to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time to monetize.
500 subscribers and 3,000 hours of watch time, and we're halfway to the watch time already at 200. Yeah, it's changed now.
Oh no shit! I'll have to
look.
Look
because we're looking at just we're just whiteboarding right here live on air. We're looking at shifting from Patreon to monetizing on both the channels on YouTube, because both of us in the next year are going to be, both channels will be able to monetize, and it's just Patreon's just a fucking grind. Again, if you're not on there every day posting content and pushing your Patreon stuff, like it's just not going to happen. It's just tough. Welcome to a show about podcasting and how frustrated we are about it, ladies and gentlemen. My match of the week was last night. It was Speedball Mike Bailey and Trent Seven versus the System, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards for the TNA tag titles. Because it was one of those convincing tag matches where you thought they were going to win the belts. Yeah. Speedball Mike Bailey's a former X Division champion. Trent Seven has gone all over the place.
There's a cat.
Is that which one is that?
It's Benton. He's always on the unboxing videos.
And so I thought that TNA tag title match was the bee's knees. Like, they smacked for 20 minutes or so. At any given point, you thought the match was going to go either way. So it was good soup.
The system works. Well,
yeah, it does.
The system works.
I'm about to show yours, AJ. Trust me, Bubba. It's coming. Al, you got one for me?
No.
All right. I'm going to edit this and bring this up because it's going to cover our faces, guys, for just a second.
Okay.
So that way we can watch this video.
We're watching?
AJ's match of the week. This is the soft ground wrestling from Uganda. Okay, and they're having a pond death match.
What the shit? What the fuck am I watching, Will?
Soft ground wrestling from Uganda. This is real life pro wrestling.
He power bombed the shit out of that dude. He fucking drowned in him.
I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm shutting that off. Okay, here's the gimmick, though. You ready for this? You know who made their soft ground wrestling from Uganda debut this week?
Steve-O and
fucking
Pontiac.
Maximum Male Models. Mansoor
What?
And Massey. Yeah, dude.
I saw the video. It was sick.
They went in there and debuted for this independent wrestling promotion in Africa, and they fucking blew the roof off of it, dude. Like, they were over as fuck. And they went in there and power bombed bitches in the mud and stuff.
That
just
dude
like
straight up, like, What
Was
is it?
like-
Wardlow power bomb that motherfucker into the and like there's no pad. That's just straight up like boom, bitch. Like he hates that guy.
But come on, who didn't do that as kids?
I
Like
know,
with their
I know.
brothers and siblings and cousins and friends in the pools where you were power bombing and suplexing each
I
other
wrestle
and
my
wrecking
dog.
each other. Yeah, you
I-
wrestle your dog?
I did that in
I
the living.
RKO my dog all the time.
Oh, we messed it up. Look, Kitty, it's Benton's over, so it works. They also helped them get a ring too, supposedly. See, that's awesome. I love the fact that they went over there and helped them get a ring.
That's awesome, dude. Those guys are
Yep.
pretty cool. in my book.
Their match, they didn't have a ring. It's just ground, like that they
Yeah,
like in a square.
I'm looking for this. Like I now can pull up multiple tabs now, Will.
you're living in the 21st century now, Bo.
Fucking excited.
Al, you ready to? Did you do your match of the week?
I don't have one. So it's been a crazy week and I've been sick, so no.
All right, let's hit some news and rumors then, and do the thing. Oh, you got a Ryback moment for us?
So now that this is Ronda and Ryback, I have one for both of them. So let me do my little thing here. So everyone doesn't get that treatment. Ronda Rousey blames WWE for not treating her same as Logan Paul, which eventually derailed her career. I'm going to read this. Ronda Rousey comments on Logan Paul. He's great on the mic. He does a great job on the mic. I wish I was allowed the time to rehearse that he gets. It's not evenly spread. He's like their next big star. They're rolling out the red carpet. It goes to show that if you give people the time to rehearse and the resources, you can do amazing things. It's frustrating that everybody doesn't get that treatment. My first match with them was incredible because we had 6 weeks to rehearse. All the best minds in the business coming and putting in their 2 cents, and it was an instant classic. Then they never did it again. I was like, why isn't this the model? They're doing that with Logan Paul, and he's having these fantastic performances. Look what you guys can do when you actually put organization and effort into things. It blows my mind that this billion-dollar company is succeeding in spite of itself in so many ways. Okay, Rhonda.
Thank you, AJ.
And then Ryback has started to, anytime a wrestler posts a picture of them like having surgery or doing anything, he is tagging his stem cell clinic because, it did so well for him, yet he's not able to get back in the ring. So here's him, telling Matt Cardona to do it, and then also quote tweeting Big E and telling him to do it. So Ryback is going cuckoo for Cuppa Puffs, sharing his, holistic healing, which didn't work for him, but I'm sure they're giving him lots of money to share it. And then Ronda Ryback is blaming everybody for her not being as good as she should have been.
Well, what the fuck? If everyone's supposed to get
Ryback is crazy, and we've solidified that. I think that him pushing his stuff is just Ryback doing Ryback things at this point. Ronda, however, I feel like is kind of she's crying too little too late. If she felt like she needed help, if you're in that billion-dollar industry and you're one of their biggest stars, male or female, like if you went to them and you were like, hey, I need some help, like I don't think they would say no to you. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Like why is she bitching about not having any help now when she could have said something a year ago, 2 years ago when she was active in the company?
That's a good point, dude.
Just my 2 cents. Bo, what do you think about Ryback or Ronda? You got anything to say about it this week?
I think Ryback's just trying to mooch. I'm muted.
Technological. This is the episode for technology, ladies and gentlemen.
I can hear him.
I can't hear him at all. My volume was down. I'm an idiot.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I was like, what the damn? I think Ryback's just mooching off people, trying to get like tweeting these stars, trying to get people just to see this bull, like this stem cell, whatever crap he's selling.
Yeah.
Ronda just needs to shut the fuck up and be a mom.
Fair.
Go play golf.
All right. Let's knock out some news and rumors. What? You got something to say?
No, but Lee did.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lee. I didn't realize.
What?
You wanted to say something about Ronda, and Will interrupted you because he couldn't hear you speaking.
Yo. I need you all to think about this. Now she's saying that it's not fair that he's getting all this time to train for his matches. 6 weeks is plenty of time to, train for a match. But if you're grasping what you're doing, after a while, it shouldn't take you 6 weeks to prepare for a match, to choreograph your match. I mean, she went from professional MMA to professional wrestling. Anyone I've talked to who transitioned from a sport says wrestling is not easy sport to train for. She's got all sorts of background. It should have been easier for her. But then again, look at some of her friends that she tried to bring into the business, and they were MMA and they struggled just as much. So we're supposed to WWE supposed to let you like train with the person you're supposed to have a match with for 6 weeks. 6 weeks for a 5-minute Raw match. 6 weeks for a SmackDown match. Hell, let's start putting Ronda Rousey on fucking main event if that's the case. I got so mad I scared my cat. I'm done.
And he leaves.
And like that, he's gone into the night. Okay, now let's do some news and rumors.
Speaking of Logan Paul, he is currently spawning. I guess him and his lady have announced that they are expecting their first child. Lord help us all that the Paul brothers are starting to recreate.
I'm getting old.
Why? She's gonna have a natural birth in the woods in Japan. It's okay.
Oh, there it is.
Deep cut.
I think that this is one of those situations where you're like, yay, congratulations. Because you want a healthy, happy baby. I'm never against healthy, happy
There's
baby.
no evidence that Logan Paul has sex.
Yeah. I'm still not 100 convinced. Like, I just don't think necessarily he needs to reproduce. I'm always about happy, healthy babies, though. So congratulations to her. It's just a shame that she chose him to be the donor for this situation.
Hey, Ryback's always looking for stem cells. Just saying.
Dude.
If they don't want
two in this one headline, Lee.
Just saying.
I love it. I love it.
Next, we've mentioned it a few times. Matt Hardy returns to TNA, said that he's gonna go at Matt Cardona style and just show up wherever he wants to show up and just be a free agent. Do we think that he's eventually going to end up back in WWE with his brother to end their careers?
Oh, he's part of the Wyatt, hands down. You tell me otherwise, I'm disagree all day. I think this is just a quick stop to get the gimmick over, so then when he goes back to WWE, he's going to very, very similar gimmick.
We tried that already, though.
Yeah, but we haven't tried it with other failed wrestlers like Bo Dallas and Braun Strowman. We got to try it with them now.
I think that I think the best way to say this is he's keeping the ring rust off because he's going to TNA. He'll do some tapings here. You know, he'll be there for a couple days. That'll roll through TV for a month or two, and then he'll do a couple indie pop-ups that'll keep him fresh. So when they're ready to roll, he'll be ready to go. Also, the other side of that is, you're right, Al, and that's Jeff's contract. Because now that Triple H is at the helm, I think that broken Matt Hardy is the safest version of Matt Hardy. So he'll be able to do the most. And with Jeff Hardy needing to shift to a character-based wrestler, we might actually get to see the Willow character in WWE. Maybe.
But it means that we could try to get him on the show since he's a free agent.
That's a good point. That's a race right there.
Ooh.
Because he's currently not under contract with anybody. You got any connections with the Hardy Boys, Lee?
Hey, Lee, I'm gonna need to borrow some of them exclusive Hardy figures. I got a plan.
Oh, like that one.
Oh fuck! Yeah, let me. Yeah.
As he
I got a
goes to the
plan.
wall exactly where they're at, and he knows exactly which ones they are. Oh, you mean like these exclusive Hardy figures that are autoed and like ready to
that they've
go?
already seen, so my plan won't work.
Like that.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
Welcome to Collections with Lee.
See, I always feel real good about my collection because I'm like, it's starting to get respectable. Like I've got an
And then
assortment
Lee
of
comes
stuff.
on the fucking TV.
Yeah, and then I see Lee's, and I'm like, oh, that's right. I know nothing. I know.
I
less
had
than
that
Jon
same
Snow.
figure,
I'm not done.
Just
That's
not-
just that part.
just not signed.
What's your oldest figure, Lee? We're just gonna derail the show completely.
Okay, so I have the Corporal Kirshner LJN mock. I think that's 1987.
So when you say a mock, is that like the proto for it, like one of the first ones they did?
It just means mint on card. It's just
Okay.
It's in the box. So like, I have the whole Hasbro set, all 94, on card, and then I would say the LJN's the oldest I got. Oh no! Wait, yeah, it's the oldest I got. The LJN series. Otherwise, we're actually just in my office.
That's just casually in my office.
Yeah.
I totally didn't realize. I totally forgot until just now. That what day did you get to Philly, Lee?
Thursday morning. We had to pick my buddy up from the airport. And
I could have asked Lee to get me one of them WrestleMania skulls.
The what?
The WrestleMania skull. The sugar skull.
Oh.
If you walk over and pick one up signed or something, I'm leaving.
No, I don't
just fucking walking.
I got my buddy buys those one a year, but if I go into my man cave, I have the WrestleMania chairs last year. I've got every pay-per-view chair I've ever been to upstairs. And then I don't have this year's yet. But I didn't have floor seats or anything like that. Shit's like way too expensive.
Well, you know what, Lee? I have a big schlong.
I mean, it's expected. We're gingers.
Okay. I thought we were just bragging about shit.
I have a Ricky the Dragon signature. So,
AJ Styles autographed NWA belt.
You do have a signed 10 pounds of gold by AJ. I've got 2 signed cornets. I don't know. That might be my coolest auto. My coolest auto is my Bourdain, though, because I've got a signed Anthony Bourdain book.
My coolest one is Kurt Angle.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The Ginger Ninja.
My Sacco's pretty dope. It's probably my favorite piece of memorabilia in my collection. My signed Sacco.
I'm going to be watching Dynasty because I got to get ready for next week.
Yeah.
This
All right,
this show right here depends on how my whole week next week's going to go.
Why? Oh, because you're going to be at fucking 4 wrestling shows next week in the recap of what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on, Forbes ranked AEW as the third most valuable combat sport promotion in 2024, behind UFC and WWE, with a valuation of approximately $2 billion. The promotion's top draws are listed as the Young Bucks, Jon Moxley, and Kenny Omega. Do we think that this is an inflated pile of dog shit?
Yes.
I'll put it to you this way. They're only drawing 2,000 people. My local independent company out of Syracuse had a show and they drew 1,400 people. So
we were just at one that drew 1,000. So, yeah.
So if you're going to tell me that's worth $2 billion, then they must just be adding up everyone's contracts and saying, well, this is what it's worth.
That's what I said too. When I saw the numbers, the way Forbes said it was $2 billion. And then they said they only produced $250 million in revenue. So in my head, I was like, to get to that $2 billion, meaning if they took AEW and everything under that umbrella and got rid of it and sold it and liquidated it into cash, it would be worth $2 billion. So I'm like, that's the catalogs, that's Ring of Honor's catalogs, that's all of their contracts, that's, all of their salaries, that's, the water coolers, everything in their collective. Because if you look, if they revenue wise is only $250 million, that means if they made $250 million every year since they were made without spending a dollar, they would be worth $2 billion. And they didn't make $250 million in their first couple of years. And we know they're spending money. So I'm not a businessman. I own my own failing business. So me and TK have something in common, but I'm just trying to figure out how do you get to be a $2 billion company if you're not making that much money? Not that 250 million isn't that much money. I'm not saying that, but for revenue growth, you have to make more money than you spend. I don't think they've made $2 billion in 5 years. I don't.
I really wish I had an answer. I just feel like I feel like if they put out the real numbers, right, that's where we'd be like, oh, that makes sense. But then we'd be sitting here being, talking trash that the company is only worth XYZ and couldn't even make the top 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like Tony Khan is already so much on the defense about AEW as is. They probably looked at the number and said, yeah, no, boost that. Because if that was me, I'd say boost that. Hell, why not? We lied about Wembley enough for Will Ospreay to get a tattoo, and that tattoo is completely wrong. So why wouldn't we lie about the money that we make or how much the company's worth?
It's a privately traded, it's a privately owned company. They could lie about everything and we would have nothing to base it off of. They could be making it all up and there's nothing to go off of because they don't have to report anything. They don't have to report earnings or losses or P&Ls and stuff. What's up, Doug? Thanks for stopping by, bud.
What up, Doug?
They're totally making it up. I've watched Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision. It's like WCW all over again. It's like they make the show up on the spot.
Based on who they can book in that moment that day, right?
Yeah. Man.
See, I'm biased because I've only been to AEW shows in Jacksonville, and because Daly's place is half of an arena, it looks packed and sold out every fucking time.
Yeah,
but it's legitimately half.
Why don't they just book arenas like that full time then. And I've brought this
Right.
up before and I've gotten shit on for it. I was like, if they know they're only going to sell 2,500 tickets, then why aren't they booking out and selling out 3,000 seat arenas instead of selling a third of a 10,000 seat arena?
Production doesn't look as good on national television.
I don't disagree, but you know what you can do? You can take your production down a notch and still make it look good. Look at what, and I'll say this and you'll understand. Look at what Impact does.
Yeah, I
They
understand.
put on a hell of a show without having to have $1 billion in Impact. And you think about the fact that AEW could go to Impact's level, but then turn it up to 11 because they have the budget to do so. You know what I mean? So why not imitate what their competitors are doing? Because if they don't catch themselves in that rearview mirror, there are 3 companies that have 3 decent TV deals right now that are putting up consistent numbers weekly. MLW, TNA, and the NWA. And it's not that they're putting up million viewer weeks. It's that they're putting up consistently viewed weeks, week over week over week, with not substantial growth, but consistent growth every week. It doesn't matter if only 1,500 more people watched than last week. It's the fact that those 1,500 more people watched.
Yeah.
AEW needs to look at it like that. They're not WWE already. They're still growing. A lot of companies don't see a profit until they've been running 3 to 5 years. AEW is already making one. Why try to be WWE when you're not? Focus on being AEW.
Well, the only reason they don't run the arena here in Jacksonville is because Daddy can use the Daly's place attached to the stadium for free.
Yeah,
because
my dad owns a dealership.
Here's a shocker for people. When AEW did that undisclosed location during the pandemic, they did it at the practice field behind Daly's place. It was nothing to like go to Walmart and see the Bucks looking for action figures and shit. They became local like residents for 2 years here. So when they come, like when I like Wednesday and Saturday are probably going to look like the crowdedest AEW shows, just because Duval County supports local like businesses and stuff, and to me, they're just a local business.
So, Daddy Meltzer notes that he was told a few weeks ago that it's unlikely Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis, Brock Lesnar actually will be back in Wait, this reads really funny. Notes that they were told a few weeks ago that unlike Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis, Brock Lesnar actually will be back in WWE at some point. It's not clear when that will be. That said, it won't be anytime soon. Do y'all think that we're actually really missing Brock like at all?
Who?
I think because he's a big name in that WWE, fan purposes, you're going to get a mixed reaction. You're going to get the hardcore fans that are LGBTQ feminists and this and that, and nothing against all that. I'm all for it as well. But they're going to be the ones to lash out that they're mad that Brock Lesnar is back. I mean, all he told the girl was to pee herself, and then he was going to have a fun time with her. Now, let's not, forget the fact that he is married and he does have a daughter. Whether the fact that she looks like she could be his twin is another story, but she looks identical. You cannot make up that is not Brock Lesnar's daughter. The fact is, aside from text messages, what did he do wrong? Aside from telling the girl to pee herself. I mean, I wouldn't tell anyone to pee themselves. If it means I'm going to get a multi-million-dollar contract, by all means, I'll pee myself right now. But in this,
I don't think. Go ahead, finish.
all they've got on him is that text message, and if it was an instance where he went through with the act and then there was more in that lawsuit about Brock Lesnar, like what they did that weekend, and how I'm sure it would have been probably pretty bad for her. You don't have that context. All you got is that one text message, which I'm not sticking up for what the man did, because technically that is considered emotional cheating and is cheating. So I don't condone that. But all they have is a text message, and no act on his part was actually committed besides the text message. So you're gonna have a mix, like when CM Punk from AEW to WWE, and now we're seeing that, hey, CM Punk was right. I still don't think that'll be this instance with Brock Lesnar, but WWE misses Brock Lesnar. I'd say about 50% of the fans miss Brock Lesnar. The other 50% are going to be on that fence where they don't want him back, don't think he should be back, don't condone text message. But again, no physical act was committed. So that's it. That's all.
I think that it's one of those situations where you don't ever want to take away from what a woman has said or done as far as being a victim, because the victim is the most important thing in this scenario. But also at the same time, I've said this before on other shows, in America, we have to have some semblance of innocent until proven guilty. And I don't feel like he's getting that benefit because he's never been formally charged or found guilty of anything. So if WWE wanted to bring him back, my personal emotions about how creepy or gross he may be as a person has nothing to do with the bearings on how that company proceeds to run their business. And I think that's what a lot of fans don't understand, is just because I don't think he needs to be there doesn't mean that WWE doesn't think he needs to be there and other people don't think he needs to be there. And that's just part of being an adult, is sometimes people do things you don't agree with and you just have to accept it. But, and that's just the way it is. Anybody named in that lawsuit until it's settled and done, I don't think has a place to be on TV right now. You know what I mean? There's no point. There's no way WWE should be able to prioritize and profit off of these people when they're going through this lawsuit. Once it's settled and the dust clears, if the hands are clean, I would have no problems with Brock coming back in. You know what I mean? That's where my hang up is with it, though. I want the litigation to be done and we see that he's innocent. Once he's proven innocent, I'll be fine with it. But until then, we just got to go through the legal process. I'm not a lawyer or a judge for that reason. I'm a Mark with a mic who talks about wrestling and writes about it.
Yeah, I agree. No one should be on TV if they were named in it.
Yeah.
Then, we're not WWE.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like my opinion on the situation is, and it's not specifically just Brock, I think it's anybody involved with that lawsuit needs to be separated from the company to focus on that lawsuit. That's all I was saying. And that would be anybody named in that lawsuit from WWE needs to be removed so that they can be a focus on that. But again, not a lawyer, not a judge. So, yeah.
They just see on Brock. That's it.
Moving along, in a report on the upcoming WWE draft from Fightful, it said that WWE will once again be trying to make NXT a true third brand, similar to how it was presented at Survivor Series in 2019. This will likely involve Raw and SmackDown talent being drafted to NXT. Do we think that NXT needs to stay a developmental brand, or do you think that it should be a real third brand? And in a caveat to that, before y'all discuss, does that if there's not going to be a developmental brand, what are they going to do with all of these new developmental talent that aren't ready to be in the ring with these other stars? Like, what do you do with those guys?
Level up.
You God damn it, Lee!
Sorry, I didn't even see your hand up. I was
Yeah, no, I now see, and this is how I presented it to Scows, and I think Will one night. I see now NXT being a third full brand by itself. They have now debuted this new show called Level Up. It's 1 hour, which was the original developmental of NXT. It's on the network, which was an original development of NXT, developmental style of it. And we're seeing people being used as making their NXT debut, but they've already been wrestling on Level Up. Level Up should, in my eyes, is now considered the developmental show. NXT, and I hope with this draft, and they gave us a little bit with Ava interacting with Pierce and Aldis. I hope NXT's involved in it somehow, but I would also maybe change the name down the line, get rid of the NXT altogether.
Open back up and go back to FCW. Give them an independent wrestling promotion to make towns in Florida and get reps.
Call it Tuesday Night Thunder. You got the name. It's sitting in a warehouse.
Get Steve Kern back. Time to bring back Florida champion.
Bring back FC Dub.
I'm going to read this, and I know Will has a little conspiracy theory on it. After Vince McMahon listed his remaining TKO stocks for sale with the SEC in a filing last Friday, Dave Meltzer revealed that McMahon has a 1-year non-compete agreement that will expire in January of next year. Meltzer then checked with some of the most prominent people of wrestling, and the vast majority believe Vince won't attempt to get back into the business due to a combination of his age, reputation, and lack of openings. An inability to get distribution because of his reputation was also cited as a major challenge, even by some who think McMahon will attempt to start a new wrestling promotion. What do you guys think?
I think he'll bankroll.
I'm going to go last because I do have an idea here.
He's going to bankroll Freddie Prinze Jr. That's my thought.
I'll piggyback off that. So behind closed doors, it's really no secret. Tony Khan is also helping fund Stardom and also New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
They don't have the Yakuza anymore.
Yeah. That what's his face now in AEW is complaining about the Yakuza being part of New Japan and whatnot. I mean, the Yakuza controls a lot over in Japan, believe it or not. So the fact that if they walked away from wrestling, that's probably because they don't see money in it anymore. And I mean, quite frankly, when you got Tony Khan pillaging off every top star you got, what do you expect? But I guess in some sort of way, he's also helping fund them right now and keeping them afloat or something along those lines. I cannot see Vince buying something, but I can see him funding a company. I can see him, and God, I go back to WWE 2002 when he wanted to inject the poison into the WWE, when he wanted to end the WWE. He brought in Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall when he really should have brought in Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo, but he brought those three back to kill the WWE. I say he's going to look at one of the lower companies in NWA and MLW, and so to speak, a TNA. I would say the best bet would be with TNA. They got the more star power, yada, yada. But MLW also just won $20 million from the WWE in their lawsuit, settling out of court. So they've already got some extra money. Maybe Vince could, put his hand in that, but he's going to look for something, I would say, that's already got a TV deal, already has stars established. He's going to look at all of that. And if Vince does anything, I could see him helping TNA.
I think TNA is a great pick. To piggyback off of both of you, my conspiracy theory was that Vince, once he becomes eligible to buy into a company in January, what I think Vince will do is he's going to be a silent partner for someone, be it a Freddie Prinze Jr., be it a TNA, be it an NWA. I do know from my time working with the NWA, I've heard Billy say the words that the NWA is a passion project for him. When he bought it, he didn't buy it with the anticipation of making money because he knew what it was. He bought it because he was a lifelong wrestling fan and he didn't want it to lose the prestige of what it was, because he was like, it had been bounced around for so long. He's like, I want to do it. I know he said he has no intention on selling the NWA unless he can make boatloads of money off of it. He's like, I didn't get into it to make money. So if somebody wants to buy it from me, they're going to have to pay me for it. So like if Vince wanted to come into the NWA, Billy's not opposed to it, but it'll cost him. The Bushiroad thing with New Japan Pro Wrestling and the Yakuza, I made the joke about the Yakuza backing them, and Lee backed me up a little bit with it. But the thing is with Bushiroad is the largest media conglomerate in Japan. They own Stardom, they own New Japan Pro Wrestling, they own TV channels and stuff. Think of a really big version of Access with TNA. You know what I mean? Like they own the channels that New Japan has put on in Japan. You see what I mean? So they bought the wrestling promotion that they're like, it all goes under one umbrella. What Tony Khan is doing is he's taking that big umbrella and he's going, I'm going to keep this little bit afloat by funding just this one piece of the puzzle. And then when that's ready to pop, what Tony Khan's going to be doing, he's going to stand there with his safety net and he's going to scoop up Stardom in New Japan in the next 3 to 5 years when their bubble bursts, because Bushiroad, being the huge conglomerate it is, will not, even in the most profitable markets, allow to lose money. And that's what's happening. So in the next 3 to 5 years, New Japan is going to go on the market to be sold. And if the cons aren't ready for it, somebody will buy them. And that's my safe prediction. Before 2030, it's not a matter if AEW will still be around. It'll be if Bushiroad still owns New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Let's see. Bodyslam.net says the Motor City Machine Guns are finalizing deals with AEW. While nothing is imminent, the decision to sign there has been made. I know Jax and Will, you both have been very vocal about how you think that they're going to WWE. Do you think that this is true?
I think if it is, it's like
I
sorry
think
for cussing, but it's fucking
at
stupid.
this point, Shelley and Saban have done enough that they could go wherever they want to. They've held every major tag title on the planet, so I support them wherever they go. I'll watch them wrestle. I think the best landing spot for them is to go back to TNA. Sorry. I think they need to go back there and finish their careers there. If they went back there, they would both have major runs. They would probably win another tag title. They would both have shots at singles to gold. The only difference is they're going to go to WWE or AEW and make a little bit more money.
What if?
I think the longevity and the tenure with the company would be – I think that's just the move. I think they're best fit for TNA. If I have to pick between WWE or AEW, I'd want it to be AEW, though.
Why? Please tell me why you'd want it to be AEW, where the Young Bucks will just use the name Motor City Machine Guns to get a quick – they're going to count the lights, and the Bucks are going to go, see, we're the best tag team in the world.
Us gingers stick together, because I think the Motor City Machine Guns going to AEW is stupid. Will, you said they've held every major tag team championship there is. That is a lie. They've not held the WWE Tag Team
And
Championships.
those are the.
And one thing I have been very prominent about, I don't care if any wrestlers want to disagree with me, you haven't made it until you've made it to WWE. Because no one was born and said, oh, gee, Willikers, Dad, I want to start my career in AEW. I want to go to TNA. No one ever said that. When you were a kid and you had these aspirations and these big dreams, slamming your wrestle buddies in the living room as a kid, your dream was to go to WWE. It wasn't TNA. It wasn't AEW. It wasn't MLW, NWA. It wasn't any of these secondary companies to WWE, because that's what they are. They're secondary. The dream is WWE. You ask non-wrestling fans about wrestling, they know WWE. They don't know these other companies. You ask non-wrestling fans about wrestlers, and they're going to name the wrestlers that they know because they're from WWE. You haven't made it till you've been to WWE, and I'm sorry, but the Motor City Machine Guns still have not made it. The Young Bucks still have not made it. Kenny Omega still has not made it. They can say that they've made it all they want. What company got them watching wrestling? What wrestlers were they watching? They were watching WWE just like the rest of us. They haven't done it.
Wow.
Going to AEW, they're going to flounder. You know why they're going to flounder? Because House of Black should be the most dominating 6-man tag team.
Fucking thank you.
You're not wrong. You're
They're
not wrong.
Brody Lee should have never been pinned.
They've got Brody King, who's massive. They've got Buddy Murphy, who can do everything. Aleister Black, who can do everything. They're dark. They're mysterious. Julia Hart is absolutely killing it for the group right now. And
Biggest comeback of the year for sure.
So there's obviously a booking issue there. But again, you haven't made it till you've been to WWE. They're going to come out there. They're going to be hot for a week or two, and they're going to have their first feud, and then no one's going to care. And then we're going to start seeing them on Rampage and Collision, the shows that really nobody's watching, because goody, they showed up at AEW, wore off. If it was WWE, we'd be more shocked, because you would have that idea that they're not supposed to be there, that they're just another glorified indie tag team. They'd make more of an impact, irony, in WWE.
I want to change my answer, Al. They need to go to WWE.
My last thing is we did have a couple of releases. There was some confusion about Jinder Mahal's release from WWE after he posted, "I quit" on Twitter. Fightful was told that he was in fact released rather than him quitting the company. In addition, Xia Li was released. Was it Zion Quinn? Zion Quinn. Veer, who they literally tried to shove down our throats, and that fucking failed, gone, and Sangha gone. I would like to mention that everyone that was released, was a person of color, which I find interesting and does not help the WWE narrative of, that they do this a lot. Just saying.
Here's my thing about that, though, and it's gonna come off kind of racist, but like, WWE does not know how to book fucking Indian wrestlers. I'm sorry. Any Indian wrestler that they get, it's what gimmick do they have? It's I'm Indian. That's the gimmick. They don't know how to use them outside of their race, almost. Like, Xia Li was literally a fucking Mortal Kombat character, and that failed in 1996 with WCW.
You
So
do
why are
not
we doing it
disgrace the fucking good name of Glacier.
Mortis, the fucking green boy. He was Reptile from Mortal Kombat.
It failed in 96. Why are we retrying 22 years later? Like, no. I feel bad for them for all losing their jobs, but if WWE can't like look at a character and look beyond the color of their skin or look beyond their race, stop booking that particular race and ethnicity for a while until you can figure out how the hell to book. I mean, there's no reason why Xia Li wasn't on TV if she's got broken English. Well, I mean, we're watching all the Japanese stars literally speak in Japanese. What do they think? They think Americans are going to be too dumb to know the difference between Japanese and Chinese? You're like, come on, it's not that hard. And then, like I said, Veer, Jinder, Sangha, how are they all booked? They're all booked based off their race, literally. Like, and WWE can't look past that. And I don't know why. I think Jinder's a hell of a talent. Don't hinder the Jinder. Former WWE champion. I think he's got a hell of a finishing move, but if I was him, I'd make it more of a submission at first and then, do the 1, 2, and then when the third hand, 3, and then the hand is still there, then hit that power slam backing of that submission move. But it's his move, not mine. They just don't know how to book Indian wrestlers, and it shows. And when you brought up them pushing Veer, we had more Veer is coming to Raw than Veer on Raw. Like, what the hell? And then when we watched him wrestle, you could tell he clearly was still not ready. So maybe stop trying to push wrestlers too fast, kind of like what maybe Ronda Rousey was saying a little bit back, in the beginning of the show. If you don't think the talent's ready, give them time to get ready then, at least, because Veer was definitely not one of those guys who was ready. And that's it. Like, he was not a guy who was ready for the main roster. It showed. Sangha, I don't even know who the hell he is, but I'm going to say this.
I wasn't sure who Sangha was when I saw that name. I was thinking Sankey, but apparently it's not that. It's not Sankey. It was a different person altogether.
He was released a while back.
Yeah.
And then Zion Quinn, the dude's got the looks. Oh, he's muted or something.
Jaxers.
Yeah, I thought it was me that time. It wasn't. The episode of technological glitches.
They don't know how to book them.
No, I think that was the biggest fail with them all the way across the board. Mansoor as well. He was another one of those guys that they could only use him for the Saudi shows. That was the only time he ever was over for a long time. And then he got into the Maximum Male Models, and now he's over as shit on the indies with it. But like, that was the only time WWE used him successfully, was when they were in the Saudi shows. And he would go over there and he would upset somebody big, and that'd be the only time we saw him.
Yeah, for like the first 2 years in WWE, all he did was the Saudi shows.
Correct. Yeah. All right, guys. Short, easy, to the point. Get out of here. Watch some Dynasty. Get ready to go. But before we do, Lee, tell everybody where to find you, what you got going on, what's doing exciting with Perch on the Top Rope.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Justin, stay away from 11-year-olds, though, you creep. You can catch us Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, podcasting, Apple Podcast. I am ranked in over 20 countries worldwide, heard in over 50, and I am in the top 5 in the United States when it comes to wrestling podcasts. You can watch interviews that I just did with Ash by Elegance from TNA, Jay Vidal, Will Ospreay, honestly, is on there too. Alex Shelley, all interviews I did while they were part of TNA. I've got WWE interviews, AEW, NW, all sorts of wrestling interviews. YouTube.com at Perched on the Top Rope. TikTok, Perched on the Top Rope. I do have a moniker, fans. Spoiler freeze, the way to be. Take it away, Ginger Ninja.
You can. That's perfect, by the way. You can find me here every Sunday for Botched Spots and Chair Shots. Coming back soon to Nerdy News and NXT on Tap. Follow me on Twitter, Jaxpo2020. Hit the link tree. You can find everything there.
Al?
Sorry. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at justagirl918. I haven't been posting as much lately, but I think I'm gonna go back into posting more in the things. So life is busy. Running these fools is a second full-time job.
All right, I'm going to do mine real quick and to the point. If you check down low behind you, you have your Discord link. That's the direct link to all the Off the Top and Rivet City Radio hosts and producers. You have a merch link down there for Botched Spots and Chair Shots and Off the Top Media. Go get a shirt. Go get a hat. There's boxers with Ginger Ninja's face on them. If you choose, if you have Amazon Prime, you get a Prime Gaming subscription. Do it on your computer. Give it to us. Give it to Creation World. Give it to Perched on the Top Rope or the Wolfpack. Give it to any of my friends. Just as long as Jeff Bezos doesn't get it because he has too much money. The lifeblood right now for Rivet City Radio is the patreon.com/Rivet City Radio. You get ad-free playback, Up and Smoke Cinema Club watch-alongs, the delicious as fuck cookbook, all of the articles and news and blogs from the hosts and producers and stuff. But that's it, guys. That's it for everything. Holla, the merch is great, says Off the Top. Sliding in on YouTube. I appreciate that. Anything for the class before I talk real fast? Watch some wrestling.
Fuck you, Young Bucks, for showing up in a Cybertruck.
A Cybertruck. We saw one today in the wild at Walmart. It was weird.
Oh, but
you ready? But
I can't do it. It's messed up tonight.
Now, as we close another episode of Botched Spots and Chair Shots, I'm taking a minute. Thank you for listening. Remind you to go wherever you do anything on the internet. Like, follow, subscribe, unsubscribe, then subscribe again. Leave a comment telling me that Lee's pretty awesome and that Bo needs to set up his Steam Deck. Either way, it helps the algorithm. It helps find new listeners. If you're feeling really generous to be one of the VIP people, head to patreon.com and donate to the Rivet City Radio Podcast Network. You get some fantastic swag. We get some fantastic guests. It's a win-win for the phenomenal Lee Walker, for everybody's favorite Ginger Ninja Jaxpo, and for the boss bitch Al. I am the Will Gray. Thanks for stopping by and listening, my people.